The one and done watch, the one watch collection. Today we're going to be talking about watches that are go anywhere, do anything, one watch collections. I have a list of over 10 watches to go through, and I have some rules that I want to list that I've put against this list. So number one, all of these watches have to have at least 100 meters of water resistance. They have to have a sapphire crystal. They have to be versatile. They have to be comfortable. They have to be good looking on a bracelet or a strap, and just in general, good looking watches. And they have to be legible. That is extremely important, especially if you're going to be using this watch on a daily basis. And lastly, there has to be some sort of micro adjust, preferably on the fly micro adjust. However, with that being said, let's get into the list. I have over 10 watches to go through, so let's start with my number one pick. So before I get into my first pick, I do want to mention that all of the watches on this list are affordable. They're all under $2,000, and in most cases, well under $2,000. Some of them under $500. So lots of watches on this list. I'm going to start with my first pick. This is in no particular order. The first watch on my list here is the Canton from Jack Mason. This was a watch that was recently released. It's a beautiful Oyster Perpetual style watch that gets on the fly micro adjust. It gets a Le Joux Perret movement inside, the G100, which you get to see from the back. It gets excellent lume, really good looks, a textured dial. It gets a stainless steel case. You get 150 meters of water resistance with this watch, which is excellent. And if you've ever held a Jack Mason in your hands, you know that they're really well made. In fact, this is their first Swiss-made watch. It is completely Swiss-made, and it is really, really nice. The on-the-fly micro adjust works really well on these watches. A very slim profile to their clasps. Very comfortable watches, very good looking, and extremely versatile. Also, I do want to mention that these come in at $1,299, a Swiss-made automatic with a Le Joux Perret movement. Very, very good pricing on these. Definitely check these out. The next watch on this list is probably the most interesting watch on this list. It's the Formex Essence. This is a watch that gets a COSC certified Sellita movement inside. It is heavily decorated and modified by Formex. You're getting their suspension case. You're getting on the fly micro adjust in any of their bracelets. It doesn't matter if it's their dive style bracelet or a butterfly clasp. The Essence does come on their butterfly clasp, and you do get micro adjust, on the fly micro adjust in that butterfly clasp. You also get on the fly micro adjust in their straps. So the buckles that they use on their straps give you the option for on the fly micro adjust as well. You're getting 100 meters of water resistance, lots of different dials. There's literally dozens of dials to choose from these, and they come in at around 40 millimeters. So there's a 39 millimeter version and a 43 millimeter version. These are very good looking watches, and again, very, very versatile. Really well made, because their parent company makes some higher end watches or components for higher end watches. So you're getting all of the quality of a very high end watch at not so high end pricing. So these come in at around $1,480. They start at that price for ones on the strap. And then if you get a bracelet, they're a little bit more expensive. And again, also it depends on the dial that you get. Sometimes they're a little bit more expensive. If you get maybe the space gold, those are pretty expensive. But if you want a standard dial from them, you're paying that $1,480. And that is an excellent price for a very, very good looking watch that is extremely versatile. The next watches on this list are two watches that I'm sort of pairing together. There is the Tissot PRX, the Powermatic 80 version, and of course the 12 from Christopher Ward. The reason why I'm putting these together is because they are sort of similar watches at two different price points. And there's a reason why they're at two different price points. The Tissot PRX is sort of the entry level. You're getting that Powermatic 80, which is an advantage. That is a pretty good movement. You're getting 80 hours of power reserve, although they're not as as serviceable as the Sellita SW200 that you get in the Christopher Ward. You're getting really good bracelets, sapphire crystals, 100 meters of water resistance, and you get them in a few different sizes. So the PRX is available in 35 millimeters and 40 millimeters. However, if you want a little bit of a step up, definitely go for the Christopher Ward. They're available in stainless steel or titanium. They have beautiful textured dials as well. They're a little bit nicer than what you get from Tissot. Also, they have heavier tapers on their bracelet, which I love, and their bracelets now offer on-the-fly micro adjust. Even though they're a butterfly clasp, you get a very similar system to what Vacheron offers at very good prices. So the Tissot PRX, the Powermatic 80, comes in at around $795 on that bracelet. If you want the Christopher Ward, they start at just under $1,000 on a strap. If you want the bracelet, they're around $1,200. That's in stainless steel, and then obviously the price goes up if you get it in titanium. However, again, they are also available in two different sizes, 36 millimeters and 40 millimeters. So plenty of options, 100 meters of water resistance, on-the-fly micro adjust. The reason why I would recommend the Christopher Ward over the Tissot is because you do have an option for micro adjust. Unfortunately, Tissot do not offer that at that price point, and I don't think they ever will. So if you want something very versatile and really good looking, go for the Christopher Ward. Another amazing watch that nobody's ever talking about, and this is a field watch that could really pass as a dress watch as well. However, you are getting tons of specs from this brand at an incredible price. Of course, I am talking about Zelos and the Aurora 38. They also make it in 42 millimeters. These watches start at $399, and it's a Zelos, so that means you are getting a ton of specs, either in stainless steel or bronze. Both get a bracelet. So you get a bronze bracelet with micro adjust or a stainless steel bracelet with micro adjust. And that bronze bracelet, it will not turn your wrist green. There is stainless steel on the bottom half of the bracelet. On the top where you can see it, it's made out of bronze. Really clever, and it looks so good. Also, these get Miyota 9000 series. These are 9039s. 200 meters of water resistance. So technically, these are field watches, but they look like go anywhere, do anything, everyday watches. The dials, always amazing from Zelos. Lots of different textures, materials, you name it, they give it to you, and they come out with different iterations almost every year of these watches. I highly recommend checking them out if you want something very, very interesting and sort of off the beaten path, but you like the quality of a luxury watch, but you don't want to spend the money. Go for a Zelos. You will not be disappointed. These are fantastic watches. The next watch on this list is another watch with 150 meters of water resistance, a really beautiful case, and it has a trick up its sleeve. It has an integrated crown. I'm talking about the Baltic Hermétique. This is a 37 millimeter field watch that almost looks like a dress watch. Again, you get the stainless steel version on a bracelet. You also get these in bronze. The bronze look amazing as well. You're getting fume dials, really detailed dials that look fantastic. And they are powered by a Miyota movement, the 9039. You're getting 150 meters of water resistance, like I mentioned before. Of course, a sapphire crystal. These are very thin, considering they're 150 meters of water resistance. You get that integrated crown, so it makes it wear and look very sleek on your wrist. Very sleek watches because of that integrated crown. And that's not something typical that you see very often. And that crown is very easy to use, even if you have big fiddly fingers like I do. It's very easy to use that crown. It's actually surprisingly easy. And these watches come in at around $600 for that bronze version. If you want the stainless steel on a bracelet, I think it's like $70 more. So just under $700, you can get one of these in stainless steel on a bracelet. Or if you want the bronze version, that one is available at around $600 as well. And also, I do want to mention, because of that crown, you could wear this watch on the left or right wrist, which is kind of cool as well. Something that I don't think a lot of people mention. One of the cheaper watches on this list is the Timex Expedition North. When this watch came out, I said this was the best Timex. I said that this was the best Timex watch ever made. And I actually stand by that. I still think it's one of the best Timex watches ever made. It's probably the most Timex-y watch that they've ever made because it's affordable. You're getting a sapphire crystal, a titanium case, so it's in full titanium. Titanium case back with a sapphire crystal, screwed in crown, screwed in case back, and 200 meters of water resistance. Now, the only downside to this watch is that it is on the thicker side. So when you're talking about an everyday watch, this watch is on the thicker side. So some people might find that a little bit annoying, although I don't think it's all that thick. And if you put a regular strap on here, like a leather strap, because these come with nylon straps, if you put a leather strap on this watch, it looks phenomenal and it's a very functional watch. Also, you get that 8 series Miyota movement inside. It's very serviceable. You could very easily replace the movement if you had to. They're very cheap to service, and the ones that they're using now, hack and hand wind. These are 41 millimeters and they come in at $349, and they are always on sale on the Timex website, and they are good looking. I really think these are very good looking watches with pretty good lume as well. I do want to mention that. Speaking of good looking, we're going to be talking about the most expensive watch on this list. However, it is a really good looking watch, and it's made completely out of grade 5 titanium. It's a GMT. It gets a bespoke GMT movement from Miyota that is made specifically for Accutron. This is the LTI. It's the astronaut. So you're getting this beautiful bracelet. The bracelet is almost jewelry-like. You're getting a titanium case, a titanium bracelet. All of that is grade 5 titanium. 100 meters of water resistance. You get to see the movement from the back. So this is a version of the Miyota 9075 that is made bespoke for Accutron. It gets a champagne colored dial. It looks very vintage but modern at the same time. And by the way, that grade 5 titanium, which is already pretty scratch resistant, gets an extra hard coating on top, which is kind of cool. I really like this watch. I've always liked this watch, and the fact that they're putting the Miyota 9058, I think they call it, inside this watch now, I am very happy. I think it's really good looking. It is the most expensive watch on this list at $3,000, but you are getting a historic watch that's really good looking, made out of grade 5 titanium, completely bracelet and case, and an extra hard coating. So there's a lot that goes into this watch. I do want to give an honorable mention to a watch that was just very recently released by Timex. It's another full titanium watch. It is the Giorgio Galli S2 Ti. So this is a full titanium Giorgio Galli. It has a kind of plain dial, in my opinion. I like the dial. I like the look of it. This is a limited edition of 500. It's Swiss made, so you're getting a Sellita SW200 inside, and it gets a custom black rotor. The bracelet gets this eye link thing that they're doing, which basically you just pull apart and you could adjust the size of your bracelet. There's no on-the-fly micro adjust. Pretty cool watch. I just wanted to mention it here. It is on the expensive side. I think it's the most expensive Timex ever. It's almost $2,000. I think it's like $1,980, which I think is a lot of money. However, it could be worth it. I have not yet seen one of these hands-on, or I haven't seen the bracelet at least. I've seen the case, never seen the bracelet. I think they look good. Not sure if they're worth the money yet. The next watches on this list, I want to group them together because they are very similar. However, they're available at 2 different price points, and there are some slight differences between the 2 watches. However, again, they are somewhat similar. The first watch is a Longines. It is the Conquest, available in 38 or 41 millimeters, available on a bracelet or a strap. They come in at around $1,600. You get to see the L888 from the back. It's a really good looking movement based on an ETA movement, obviously, because this is the ETA group. Really good looking movement though, really nicely finished. It is bespoke. It's only available to Longines, so this is a proprietary movement to the brand. You're getting 100 meters of water resistance, and you're getting on-the-fly micro adjust built into the H-Link bracelet. Great looking watch. I really love the green dial. It looks fantastic. However, there is a cheaper watch that's available that comes on a strap that looks somewhat similar, and that is a Raymond wheel. If you're not familiar with the Freelancer is an automatic watch. It's powered by an ETA movement. It comes in at around $1,000. They're available in 42 millimeters, and you're getting 100 meters of water resistance. They make a green dial that looks very similar to the Conquest from Longines. However, it is in 42 millimeters, not 41, not 38. So this is another size up, just in case you wanted something a little bit bigger. You get to see the movement from the back. It is decorated. These are good looking watches, and I think Raymond wheel in general are sort of overlooked, and the Freelancer is a very good looking everyday watch. And like I said, these are perfect everyday watches. Next is the cheapest watch on this list. It's the Casio Edifice. This is a watch that you can get from places like Amazon and eBay for around $100 to $150. They come in a few different sizes. All of them get really nice bracelets, integrated bracelets that are actually made pretty well. You get some pressed elements in the buckle, of course. At this price, that is expected. You're getting a sapphire crystal and 100 meters of water resistance. You do have manual micro adjust in the bracelet. No on the fly micro adjust. Of course, at this price, it would be very, very difficult to do that. However, you do get some interesting dials. A lot of the dials on these are brushed. There's some texturing on some of them. Good looking watches for a very good price. And usually they have them listed as like 45 millimeters. However, they aren't 45 millimeter watches. They measure in at around 41 millimeters usually. And I think that they are very, very comfortable as well because they are very thin. You get quartz movements obviously with these, and because of that, they are thin and they are very comfortable, very versatile watches that also look a lot more expensive than their $100 to $150 price tag, in my opinion. The next watch is another watch that I think nobody ever talks about, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring it here to my channel. It is the Certina DS1 Big Date. This is an automatic watch that's powered by the Powermatic 80. However, with a big date complication. It's not something that you see ever. Actually, I think Certina are the only ones that use the Powermatic 80 with a big date. This gets 100 meters of water resistance. You can get these watches for around $800 to $900, depending on where you look, but places like Joma Shop have these, and they aren't all that expensive. You are getting a big date, that Powermatic 80, sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance, lots of specs for a very good looking watch. Again, you can get these on a strap or a bracelet. The bracelets are nice. They get butterfly clasps. However, you don't really have micro adjust on those. I would definitely go for these at that $800 to $900 price point. These are awesome Swiss made watches that are very high quality, and you get that big date, which is just a cool complication that you find on much more expensive watches. So I've listed way more than 10 watches in this list, and I have 2 more watches that I want to go through. There is the Seiko Speedtimer. This is the only chronograph that I have featured here on this list. It is a solar powered chronograph, and they are very wearable. Actually, they're available in a few different sizes. I'm talking about the 39 millimeter version. It gets 100 meters of water resistance. It's a solar chronograph. These look great, especially the black and white version. So the reverse panda versions look amazing. You're getting a sapphire crystal. You don't get the best bracelets on these watches, but considering the prices on these, you can get these for around $390, $400, somewhere in that range. This is a very nice and very good looking watch for that price. And of course, it's a Seiko. These are extremely reliable watches, and they're solar powered. You won't need to get a battery for this ever. It's pretty cool when you think about it and how good looking they are for such a good price. Definitely a great everyday chronograph if you're interested in something like that. And the last watch on this list is another watch that I think nobody would ever put on a list like this. And again, that's the reason why I want to put it on a list like this, because this is a great everyday watch. It's the Nivada Grenchen Antarctic. They make a bunch of different versions of this watch. If you want one that looks modern, they do that. If you want one that looks like a vintage version, they do that. They're available on a bracelet or dozens of other straps that they offer on their website. These are well under $1,000. They're powered by a Soprod automatic movement. They have a history. They're really good looking. They're around 38 millimeters, and I think they start at $895 on a strap. I think they're just slightly more expensive if you want them on a beads of rice or maybe even a flat link. They offer either. You can even get these on a clip bracelet, a bond clip bracelet. You could literally just choose the style watch that you want and then choose the strap. They're awesome, awesome watches. And again, historic watches that look great, sapphire crystal, 100 meters of water resistance. You're getting a screwed in crown, screwed in case back, beautiful dials, beautiful bracelets. They're really well made. And the Soprod P024, I think is what you're getting in this, which is essentially an ETA clone. Very reliable as well. You cannot go wrong with these watches. And they're thin. You can wear this as a dress watch. You can go swimming with it. Basically the point of all the watches in this video. Guys, tell me what you think of all the watches that I listed in this video. Do you agree with me? Are there other watches that you would include in this list? There are plenty of other watches that I can include in this list, and I will make future lists like this to talk about more watches that I think are great. One and done, grab and go every day, go anywhere, do anything watches. Tell me what you think down in the comment section below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It's super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.